That's not true. Chat, you kind of know stuff. I don't want to fight with chat. You guys are very knowledgeable, which I trust. Well, let's see how this first game goes. Along here with Lacoste and our observers.
30 seconds to
We'll have a good time. Ops taken out there already by Cuckoo, and that will be 100 gold for a Jokam. Any of these facets looking different to you?
No. No, everything is pretty standard.
Is that how you read lists?
Yeah, I just had to double check real quick.
Yeah. I like it. Let's see if there's any fight here on the bounty rune. They do see the Shadow Demon. They'll throw the Celestial Hammer, but not really do much with it. 2 early bounties for the side of AVULUS. Make it 2 for Cuckoo. You talked about this yesterday. When you get first blood and 3 or 4 bounties.
It's basically GG.
Which is so crazy.
Uncomebackable. I don't know if that's the word that we've been using in Dota recently, but it looks like it's almost gone. Because we've seen the matchup when no one was playing yesterday. Got double kill with Shrapnel. Suddenly he gets a solo kill 3 minutes in. So makes the lane, makes the whole game completely different. And also to point out some of the interesting kind of build. In the mid lane, Mikoto did go for Magic Stick. A lot of the times you need to do the math to see how many times he's gonna use certain spells, somebody who's spamming it, so whether the stick is good or not. But in this one, the Shaker wants to use it as much as possible, so he wants to have something, and he's putting in pressure. He did get a really nice toss back into the mid lane and got a lot of HP.
Yeah, you can already see
Stormstormer.
Stormstormer sitting at about half health. Smiling Knight, 7 matches on this Morphling, only 3 wins, so a little under that 50%. If he wins this one, it will be 50%. It'll be 4 out of 8. See how that goes for him, though. Mikoto now sitting here level 2, just a quick toss up into the air, doing some damage. Trying to disrupt the CS that he's getting out of the lane as he sits 4 and 3, but Tiny right now, he's 3 and 4, so a good amount of denies going his way.
Very interesting matchup in the mid lane. You have Tiny with extra bazillion damage, and then you also have Earthshaker Jeep.
A lot of damage. And he is very dead. Cuckoo getting that first blood, and that is the Zeus getting it. And we talked about how we thought maybe the Zeus feels like that, oh, if we could play him mid, we could play him 4, but if you could play him mid, maybe you could play him 5. Yeah.
It's very similar to some position 4/5 sniper that was very popular. If you're not having a good time, you're not going to be able to do as much. Zeus is, I would say, slightly better because it does allow you to still have that global presence. And this time around, Cuckoo getting the first blood, so we'll have some extra item. He is very elusive, though, compared to Sniper. Very difficult to catch. And also, when you're trading and somebody drops the low HP, you're close to your carry, you get that jump, you slow them down. Stormstormer will refill the bottle.
Yeah, the Heavenly Jump kind of annoying to deal with. And right away, though, they go for Natsumi. Do they have the damage? They will with the Flat Cannon, even doing a little bit more, but there's the Heavenly Jump. 3 stacks of the Sticky Napalm. Will they commit under the tower? They will, and Eki gets a double kill. And you got 1 kill to start, but they'll get 2 and make things a little less miserable in that offlane for them.
This is also before Jibe was level 3, because he did die, but that also means that Eki was getting some of the solo experience, so he is level 3 with 2 points and Stick in a Palm, but once they hit that level 3, I think Natsumi is going to have a really hard time. Zeus can't really help you out once they get on top of you. Once you get 2-3 Stick in a Palm charges, you're going to be very vulnerable to the burst damage that they do have.
We've seen this before, but it's kind of getting close to happening again. Right now, the Earthshaker has 9 denies, almost as many last hits there as his lane opponent. So a lot of denies. This totem makes it pretty easy to get these denies. Makes things kind of rough to deal with for Mikoto, but he's still sitting here 10 CS. Eventually, Stormstormer going to move on over as it's going to hit about that 4-minute mark. So he's going to back off, fill his bottle with that bounty, then come back, fill his bottle again with the water rune. But Jokam, he swipes that bounty rune, and no opportunity there for Stormstormer to do so. At least for the moment. Also coming over to take this water rune, so a good job there by the Shadow Demon to come in.
Stormstormer will need to go back.
Yeah. it really stops him from regenning and sticking in this lane. That was huge from Jokam. I know it's just him moving over and picking 2 runes, but that's pretty great. Flame Break coming through under Natsumi. They've got the Celestial Hammer and the Starbreaker.
Both of them.
A lot of damage here onto Natsumi and not enough of a sustain for him to survive. They'll take out the Gyro, the continued chase for Cuckoo again, and they will get both kills once more. Eki with the double kill a second time. He's 4-0.
That's going to be a really fast Blink Dagger on your position 4 bat. It's going to feel like a core. And Cuckoo needs to be careful about using his Lightning Bolt, because that's your only ability that can stop Dawnbreaker from getting her Q off. And you could see immediately after he used it, the bounce back, they use the opportunity, and then they get on top of Gyrocopter, kill him quickly.
Currently had, for a second, more gold than Natsumi on that Bat Rider. Dangerous territory, that's for sure. But now they found him. Off out and alone. That homing missile coming through. Cuckoo committing here with this Gyro, but the Flame Break again, the damage with the Starbreaker. Natsumi's gonna die after they get the kill on Eki, and it's Cuckoo who gets the kill. So he's the one who gets the benefits of a 4-time spree, but now the Sinister Gaze to lock up this Zeus. Jibe is right on top of him and throws that Celestial Hammer with the neutral, getting the right
nice Lightning Bolt.
And the last hit.
Guess the deny. Jibe is still pretty happy about this one, getting solo XP for the Gyrocopter kill. We didn't talk too much about the bottom lane, Morphling against the Tidehunter, which also leaves Morphling in a completely free farm lane. Tide doesn't put any kind of pressure, but you're also not putting too much pressure onto Tide anyway, because you're more about the right clicks. And this time around, Eki opting to go for more early-oriented build, picks up power treads on Batrider, not what you usually see. But this guy, he has his own ideas of how to play the game. If you check what he's been playing recently on Dota Pro Tracker, you're gonna find like similar stuff that 9 class plays. These are the guys that set the meta from position 4.
Definitely wonder if they take a little inspiration from each other. Because I know there are players that and teams that do so, where they watch their live games quite often. We said earlier,
oh, not again.
Now Natsumi, I'll hold that thought, as he's going to be chased once more. Jokem's going to be here with a disruption, saving Natsumi, who is burning for a moment. The turnaround now with the damage on Eki is not going to be enough, so they'll just run away. But as I was saying, you know, you pull inspiration. We talked about how teams used to really watch Secret and Virtus Pro and LGD and take inspiration from their picks. Smiling Knight swiping this Wisdom Rune, Eki getting his own. That's usually pretty bad for the opponent's team, as they'll have slow 6s for these supports. Not exactly what you want, especially with the important ults from both these supports for Talon. Eki, 25 matches on this Bat Rider, 17 wins. They'll go again on a Cuckoo, who will be dead to rights under the tier 1 tower, not even safe. Eki's almost level 6. Jibe's also already at that level 6.
They have way too much burst damage early on between these two heroes, and are going to start to pressure the tower with the catapult. Batrider level 6, Dawnbreaker level 6 as well.
Yeah, he was close when they got that kill.
Oh, man.
Moved over, took a camp. Now he's got that lasso. It's 7 minutes, 50 seconds.
Your supports, they need XP.
Oh,
you want that Zeus to hit level 6, to have that extra bit of a damage. Same goes for Shadow Demon. Mikoto has Arcane Rune. He's going to pick up another one.
Illusion Rune, and there's the lasso on a Cuckoo. They already threw the fissure, but under the tower, they're even committing the Solar Guardian. Eki, well, he's going to be able to run away, but a toss will get the finishing blow, so not far enough out of the range of Mikoto to survive. But the commitment there with the Solar Guardian, as well as the lasso to come through and kill up a Zeus, continuing to slow down that level 6.
Jokum, he was thinking about maybe making a move onto the mid lane. Sonoika was already behind him, ready to counter-initiate. WS getting the most out of the lane, dragging the creep wave, and farming a little bit of a stack. Mikoto farming the stack in the triangle right now. That's how you come back into the game. Problem is your Gyrocopter is not going to be able to join, and I like this move. Obs Sentry on top. Mikoto
needs to run. Frost Shield. And the Fissure, Echo Slam, Disruption. WS is going to have himself a Ravage, which he'll use. That keeps Makoto alive for a moment, but the waveform coming through from Smiling Knight, they get the kill onto this Tiny. They'll lose the Shadow Demon. 2 heroes dead. Seneco's low and won't kill the Courier as he tries for that before he dies. So WS gets that kill. Smiling Knight Neki will run away, and Kuku will get a D-ward, knowing that they saw that with that vision.
Very aggressive move. They would definitely like Jibe to have his Solar Guardian available for this type of a fight, but already used it in the mid lane. They should still be pretty happy about what they got. They got a couple of creeps from that stack, and they got a kill on Tiny. Tiny is going to be the big playmaker, so if he dies before he can get to his Blink Dagger, he also invested pretty heavily into all of these small items, going for the phase boots, going for the soul ring. You need that extra bit of a movement speed to be able to get close, and yeah, Blink Dagger is going to be delayed.
And what you shouldn't delay on is typing an exclamation point ticket into the chat and getting yourself tickets to the first Tier 1 LAN here in the beautiful Belgrade, Serbia. Come join us, see some great Dota.
Oh, he jumped the wrong way.
Cuckoo. And not jumping the right way, toss back, but not gonna matter. Eesh. Kind of a yikes.
He was dead anyway.
Yeah. Seneco taking out an Obs. Smiling Knight taking out an Obs. They're clearing up the vision that Talon has on the map. Bounty Rune picked up, Flame Break, Disruption. They're gonna have Gyro coming through, but the Chain Frost now bounces over to Natsumi. That means he has to back away, and that leaves that Shadow Demon vulnerable to just die, but the Solar Guardian comes in. Makoto, he's kind of in no man's land. They have Lasso, and they'll lock up the Tiny. Zeus is here to try and help. Makoto trying to do as much damage as possible. There's the toss back on Eki, who's trying to get the kill with one more right click. Oh, Makoto, the Flame Break, they get him. And now they've got the Sinister Gaze. They'll take out Natsumi. It's another double kill here for Eki. But here comes WS, at least getting one in return onto Seneco. They have 3 heroes here to look for the Tidehunter, who is quite tanky, as they won't be able to get the finishing damage onto him by any means.
Smiling Knight turning into Tide, just to use the voice line, it goes back.
I like that little detail that you can use those heroes' voice lines.
You can see the difference, because their XP rune got stolen. Both supports and Talon are still level 5, so they don't have that extra bit of a burst, extra bit of a control from Shadow Demon. And Solar Guardian, second time being used to save the support.
Not really afraid to let it rip. Blink Echo Slam. Natsumi's level 7. Just realized how far behind he is. He's 2 levels behind Smiling Knight, 3 levels behind that Earthshaker.
Yeah, that was a Blink reveal, but
didn't get anything.
Smiling Knight was not close enough to deal some extra damage. Kuku gonna try to stack one more time.
He's not even level 6. We're 12 minutes into the game. They need that. Thunder God's Wrath would have helped them in that last fight. Ooh, Stormstormer coming over, has the Seeds of Serenity, will steal at least one. Fissure thrown out. Meanwhile, WS stealing some stacks himself.
Oh, this is such a feels bad moment.
Good amount there.
If you can't kill him, you need to bring 3-4 heroes to be able to kill Tidehunter here.
Good amount picked up there for the Dawn with that Celestial Hammer, though. He backs up into the rest of his team. Everybody there except for Natsumi, who really needs to recover. We've talked about Makoto's performances coming into today, but right now, I would say a little bit slow off the mark, waiting for that Blink Dagger, and when he gets that, that Blink reveal will be quite important to them to start with something there. That being said, the Blink Dagger's already picked up for the Bat Rider, and they'll have that to work with this smoke and go for their first Blink Lasso reveal.
He's so farmed on Bat Rider. He has more farm than the enemy carry.
Oh, Blink Lasso. Stormstormer also going to blink on top. They'll get that kill. They also removed the vision that was just placed down there by Kuku. He wasn't able to remove it. They were ready for that move over. Homing Missile comes through. WS steps forward, never really thinking about Ravage, as they wouldn't have the damage anyway. But there's that Blink Dagger for the Tiny, and you got to see, can he get something started now that he has this item?
The question is, who's he going to play with? Because Gyrocopter, he does not want to join. Tidehunter doesn't bring you much damage to the fight, so it needs to be 2 supports paired up to try to get something. Natsumi getting pressured again.
We talked about Pipe here for WS, but right now the build Vlad's into a potential Mage Slayer, Blink Avalanche, and Seneco's going to die to WS, so he's been having some fun here with the Gush and the Anchor Smash. The Wisdom Rune picked up by Natsumi, desperately needed, honestly. If that had gotten picked up by Eki, that would have been a problem. But a TP out, call down used, and an easy escape. Not really in doubt that he was going to get out of that one.
I see that WS has Mage Slayer queued up in his quick buy. This is more, I'm building for myself. It's also a good way of canceling some Blink Daggers because of the damage over time, of course. Makes you tanky, gives you extra mana regen. So that's nice, gives you extra bit of a damage. But yeah, I think Pipe is kind of a must as well, because see what Jibe's been doing. We talked about it after seeing the draft. He is rushing that Pipe. He's nowhere as farmed as this Tidehunter. So I still think he should change his mind and pick up Pipe instead. But he is committing.
Yeah, buys the cloak out there. Back when Mage Slayer first came out, we were seeing those Ember Spirits because it stopped your blink for
9
essentially,
seconds.
9 seconds. So
it lasted for 6 seconds, and then you can't blink for 3.
It was very rough when that item first got released. And they're going to smoke again. 2 of these heroes having Blink Dagger. Need to be very careful. This tier 1 being down bottom gives them opportunity to go and see if there's anybody to catch. WS not exactly the hero that they want to go for, but they're still smoked up. Maybe catching Natsumi onto the tier 2 tower. Instead, the Fissure will land on a Cuckoo. Blink into the lasso.
Oh.
It's on the WS. The Chain Frost is now going to bounce back and forth, which means Cuckoo's dead anyway. Chain Frost goes all the way to the back lines to the Ancients onto the Shadow Demon. And Eki now dominating as they get that kill onto Cuckoo. But toss up into the air onto Seneko. He'll try to get a courier and
this
will
time
do
is
so.
successful.
Yeah. But a couple of stacks of Shadow Poison and eventually a kill there. Ravage comes through, but that was in the death of WS. He let it rip with Ravage and nobody's there to follow it up. They caught him alone while they were all chasing a Lich.
As a professional e-gamer, gotta be aware of what's happening around you.
Avalanche toss. They blinked in already on Stormstormer. He's in a bad spot now. Fissure's not gonna matter. They'll get the kill on a Stormstormer. Calldown's gonna be committed after this disruption ends on Eki. So Natsumi needing to run. The Firefly doing a lot. Smiling Knight comes in. He turns into the Tiny. The Avalanche coming through on a Makoto. An Avalanche from Makoto on a Smiling Knight. But they got Natsumi. They'll get Jokem. That's 3 heroes down to the side of Talon. Celestial Hammer looking for Makoto, but he was able to blink away and just find himself safe.
Ooh. Didn't grab the tree and threw it immediately. Maybe he could have tried to go for canceling the Blink Dagger, but Smiling Knight joining a fight when it really matters and is going to secure the tower in the mid lane, about to finish off his Manta style. So that's going to give him some extra stats.
We haven't really talked about Smiling Knight because it's been everybody else moving around the map to get these kills. And he's top of the net worth by about 1,000 gold. Like you said, he's about to have Manta style. It's a 5,000 net worth lead for AVULUS.
Radiant are scanning.
They're really happy with where they're at right now. And
Dire are scanning.
Talon, they're working with no Ravage for another minute, which, again, I'm wondering what WS thought was. He was close, so close to dead that he died with Ravage animation going out. I wonder if he thought that the rest of the team was going to be there to help him maybe secure a kill.
He's still killable. I also want to see if Smiling Knight is going to pick up some Silver Edge in the next couple of items, because you want to have that break. If you initiate with Earthshaker or with Batrider, break him, he's just going to die. There is, of course, Shadow Demon to try to save him, but Seneko has been playing very aggressively. He's been on the enemy side of the map constantly. Cuckoo.
And Natsumi, he got close to the Ice Fire. He's taking a lot of damage to this Chain Frost. He's not going to die. Neither does Cuckoo.
It was a good try from Seneko. What he tried to do is use Ice Fire and the Frost Shield. He thought that Cuckoo was low enough that those couple of ticks will be enough to bring him down.
Dire's top tower is under
Jibe also looking for an Ags.
Yeah, Jibe is itemizing for the team rather than for himself, so he is going for the Aghanim Scepter, even though they don't have that much right-click other than Gyrocopter, but it also allows you to time it, to jump in where you want.
Move it around,
yeah,
gives
I
you
mean,
the evasion.
60% evasion is pretty nuts.
middle tower is under attack.
Stay pretty healthy with that. They're going to smoke, maybe find Eki, but he's by this cliff. Firefly about to run out, but can they find him? They do have vision now. Thunder God's Wrath, and there's the toss up into the air. Solar Guardians used, then they go to the lasso, blink into the Echo Slam. This is all coming together for the side of AVULUS, but the Ravage just on the edge grabs this Earthshaker, but they already lost both their supports. The damage onto Makoto, they've got the Celestial Hammer. Saneko's off to the side, but he doesn't have Chain Frost to work with. Smiling Knight comes in. He'll turn into the Tiny, throws out an Avalanche. They'll get the kill to Makoto. They'll look over at WS. That's 3 heroes already dead on the side of Talon and looking like a 4th because there's 4 heroes around this Tide, and they are hungry for some watermelon.
Another very well executed fight from AVULUS. Smiling Knight, again, joining while Gyrocopter is not joining in any of these fights. Natsumi, oh man, he's been staying the same net worth as Batrider throughout the whole game.
This started well, but they don't get this initial kill, and he's able to get that lasso. It gives him enough time to just react. Makoto not really able to accomplish much after the initial burst damage.
If he's not getting multiple Avalanche tosses in the fight, that means they're also losing the fight. But also, you see Smiling Knight, he's going to be the target that he's going to be turning into for now, because there is no Gyrocopter. Usually, you are the target to turn into, use the Flag Cannon, and just go ham. This is going to be another pickoff for AVULUS.
Yeah, they are not stopping, and there's no reason for them to do so. Shadow Demon's gonna die, dead for 30 more seconds. Natsumi's still trying to farm this Axe, has the Chrysalis Falcon Blade, but like you've been saying, they just do not have the addition of the Gyro, who has struggled all game.
He's non-factor. He's also going for the Aghanim Scepter. It's kind of hard to itemize, considering that you're playing into Dawnbreaker, so you don't want to pick up that early BKB, especially when playing from behind. But there's also so much magic damage burst. There is also Lasso, so going for the Aghanim Scepter straight away.
Another Wisdom Rune to steal. WS is going to be close by, but the Wisdom Rune is picked up by Smiling Knight. That's another stolen Wisdom Rune. That's 2 out of 3. Blink Avalanche, Sinister Gaze, Chain Frost, and the Ice Spire. Makoto, he's just dead. Blink Echo Slam on the back lines. That killed off the Shadow Demon. They're able to get Cuckoo to follow this one up. They'll look over at WS, and this one is just looking so dire for Talon. They can't get anything out of the map.
Yeah, they can kill Tier 2 Tower. They can kill Tormentor as well. You can see, as he jumped in, gets pulled in by Sonoiko and gets that ulti off, so immediately dying. It's going to be Eki picking up the shard from Tormi. Not the best shard, but it just looks very rough. You see Gyro dealing 170 damage, Shadow Demon getting blown up instantly. Now Aghanim Scepter completed on Jibei, so going to be even more difficult for them to take fights. AVULUS should look into Roche. They do have Outpost, and they also have Tier 1 Tower in the bottom lane to TP2. They have taken the Outpost in the enemy triangle, so they are controlling the whole map pretty much.
Certainly controlling the whole map. They really haven't given any of it back the way of Talon at all. There's that Ags finished for the Dawnbreaker. Top 4 heroes in net worth, all AVULUS. 16,000 net worth lead too at 22 minutes. They're gonna go and get Roche. Should be an easy Aegis. Nothing really doing from the side of Talon as they try to farm, but I don't know. They would need so much farm for this to even start to feel effective for them.
Stormstormer's gonna come in. They need a little bit of extra help. It's been a slower Roche. Lich not really providing with much. Basically a solo Roche from Morphling. And he's gonna pick it up. Now they have BKB coming for Stormstormer, and you also have Morphling with Aegis. They have not been able to get the kill on him throughout the whole game, and yeah, it's gonna be a good luck trying to kill him twice.
Also has Conda flying out for Smiling Knight. I'm looking at his cam right now. Currently very content, not smiling big time, but you can see a little bit of smiles from Smiling Knight. Eki just hiding here in the trees. Lasso onto the Gyrocopter. He's doing a lot of damage onto the Gyro. just by himself, but then they finally get the Solar Guardian. Natsumi trying to run. Jibe's here. They go to the Heavenly Jump. They've got the Blood Grenade. And maybe they just bait it in, but the Echo Slam is massive here from Stormer. That's going to be 3 kills going the way of AVULUS, and they'll TP out WS. But despite the fact they lost the Dawn, the Echo Slam ripples and kills off 3.
Man, that was nasty to watch. Goes in, baits the whole team, and then Stormer finds the angle on the 4 of them. But there's Dawn ulti with Aghanim Scepter, healing up almost instantly, and Gyrocopter is dying to enemy position 4 throughout the whole game, pretty much.
Batrider feeling much stronger, and there's that Echo Slam. I think they just killed the Tidehunter.
I think they just won the game, B-Cup.
Yeah, well, yeah, that does seem to be, I would say, the beginning of the end, but this feels like the end of the end. Eki looking for a way in. Sinister Gaze, that gets used. Jokam's gone, and now they'll look for Cuckoo. Solar Guardian, that's going to keep Eki alive once more. Natsumi on the run. Thunder God's Wrath, not going to be enough damage. The Celestial Hammer is down, and the reflected homing missile lands onto the Gyro, or I believe the one from Smiling Knight as he morphed into the Gyro. He had a homing missile with Gyro's name on it.
They still have Ravage available, potentially some toss back into Dead in the Water underneath the tier 4 towers, but not gonna be as easy. Eki gonna kidnap him one more time.
Look at the damage coming out from a Batrider. This bat is no joke.
Level 16, enemy carry is level 15.
You know, I know you love your 1K to 1 minute net worth lead, but I think when your position 4 on the opponent's team is above your position 1, that might be a similar sign.
He is above everybody on side of Talon.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stormer, who has Shadow Blade and a gem shipping out that same day. Don't pay extra for that. But 4 right now. AVULUS looking to set up and maybe finish the game. They still have this Aegis for a minute and a half. There's nothing really holding them back. There's a Ravage available, but I'm not too sure they care about that. Smiling Knight will wave form and clean up the creep wave. That'll send one range creep that direction, but Natsumi will look, and he is just trying to find anywhere to farm, but Eki's on his tail. He's got his scent. He smells him.
Oh, he almost got him, but look what he has in his quick buy. Moonshard, Batrider. Okay.
Eki knew exactly where he was. Just had an idea and almost caught him. Cuckoo standing at the front lines. He's still just level 11. We talked about the slow start for the supports with the Wisdom Rune being taken. Smiling Knight really doesn't care about that. Blink into the Avalanche. Off the mark for Makoto. But he'll use that BKB, and immediately the lasso comes out afterwards. This is going to be a Fissure that blocks him out of the fight. They're going with the Enchanted Totem as well as the Echo Slam. Joken's going to be dead, and now they look over at Cuckoo. That Chain Frost bouncing around. They get the kill onto 3. They'll buy back on the Shadow Demon takeout. Makoto GG is called, and AVULUS take game number 1 and put themselves just 1 game away from qualifying for the playoffs.
And Aki's pinging out in the old chat that Batrider did 2.5k damage to Tiny. Immediately stands up and he's like, guys, I destroyed this freaking game.
I carried the game as this Batrider. Eki definitely feeling like the MVP if I had an early take here.
He gave himself the MVP.
Yeah. By pinging out the damage, he gave himself the MVP. And certainly a way to do it.
Where's the self-high five?
That's, yeah. And then you just see the dejected faces here for Talon. Just no movement.